Hello Internet, and let me introduce you to what I would like to call menopause madness. Today we're gonna have a little bit of a sit down with the woman, the myth, the legend, the entrepreneur, the best entrepreneur by the way, Gwyneth Paltrow. But to really understand where Gwyneth is coming from, to understand Pepper Potts, we have to look at some of the things she said to the public. So this is Gwyneth Paltrow's opinion on cheese. I'd rather smoke crack than eat cheese from a tin. Or perhaps everybody's favorite from Gwyneth, I am African. Gwyneth Paltrow, honor her income. I am who I am. I can't pretend to be somebody who makes $25,000 a year. I don't want to be rich and famous. Which one is it, Gwyneth? Oh, this is a really funny one from Gwyneth over here. I know people that I respect and admire and look up to who have had extramarital affairs. Anyway, just in case if you're curious, Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin consciously uncoupled, which is her way of describing they got a divorce. I don't know anything about this Chris Martin guy, but I think he got out. He got out in time. That's it. It doesn't matter how late he was. He got out in time. Gwyneth Paltrow has a daughter named Apple. Gwyneth Paltrow on her children's eating habits. I'd rather die than let my kid eat a cup of soup. Now, before we get on to Goop, right, the legend of the vagina candle, I think it's important for us to sit down and listen to this quote from Gwyneth Paltrow on 9/11. Because nobody's more qualified to talk about 9/11 than Gwyneth Paltrow. Criticizing people for being upset about 9/11. A quote by Gwyneth Paltrow. I find the English amazing how they got over 7/7. There were no multiple memorials with people sobbing as they would have been in America. They're constantly scaring people. But at the same time, people think nothing of going to see a therapist. Yeah, you stupid people who had family that died in 9/11. Why don't you just get over it and go to therapy? Stop crying in public, losers. Thank you, Gwyneth Paltrow. I'm glad somebody finally said it to set all these victims of 9/11 straight. Thank God you did that. Fun fact, my first day of pre-K was, in fact, 9/11. The original 9/11. Yes, I remember my first day of pre-K like it was yesterday, because it was 9/11. But really, doesn't this just paint the most beautiful picture of Gwyneth Paltrow? How about her weird ongoing relationship with Harvey Weinstein? You know, Harvey Weinstein. Literally, all of these quotes from Gwyneth Paltrow, like, she even talks about how she thinks her kids enjoy avocado picking. Can't even pick apples like a normal fucking child. It's gotta be avocados. But she is literally the final boss of Karens, right? Because nobody talks about their love for a zucchini plant in their garden quite like Gwyneth Paltrow does. You know, she's the kind of lady who thinks having a hobby is sipping wine that her rich doctor husband bought. In fact, she doesn't do anything. All she does is invite other moms over inside her neighborhood so that way they can all sit around sipping wine and eating cheese and then talking about, their pyramid scheme that they're all a part of. Just imagine having a child and going, yeah, I'm gonna name this child after a fruit. How many people do you know that are named after a fruit? I don't know a peach, or a guava, or a mango. I've never met any of those people because those are the names you give to a horse. Gwyneth Paltrow is the type of lady to name her help after gemstones because it's easier. And they're all, kind of brown, so they must be a gemstone. But enough about her inability to resonate with normal people. Goop is a lifestyle brand. A lifestyle brand that is science-minded, but alternative medicine curious. Which is a really polite way of saying, yeah, we believe in absolute nonsense, but we like to get people in lab coats to say that it's not nonsense, so that way we don't look crazy. Guys, you can't tell me it's normal to sell an object that is basically a candle that smells like musty old vagina. That candle's not a joke. You can buy that $75. $75 to stink up your house like Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina. Oh, but why stop there when you can let your own scents into the workplace by wearing, I don't know, a vibrator necklace? Yeah, a necklace. You want to take your vibrator wherever you go? Yeah, just hang it from your neck. You'll just, what's wrong with you? Why would you buy that? Oh, but you feel a little too embarrassed to buy a vibrator you wear as an accessory? Oh, that's fine. Don't worry. You can wear a vibrator all day with this other model. Just bring it to work. Just strap it and forget it. Whenever you need to go, you need to go. Oh, and by the way, those objects are about $130 and $149 respectfully. So, you know, just very cheap vibrators, just if you really need to get your rocks off at work. By the way, why would you want your living space to smell like vagina? That's like if I woke up in the morning and went, you know, my room could really use just a stronger scent of hairy nutsack. Look, ladies, if you're willing to put your sisterhood before your sanity, go right ahead. But just realize that nobody's gonna want to spend time at your house if everything's smelling like the fish market. There's not enough girl power in the world that's gonna make anyone want to spend time around you when it smells that bad. But I think it should be definitely just completely clear right now that Goop is not only trying to take your money, they're trying to do it by selling you rocks and other garbage for a premium price when you can get the same thing online for about $15. Not a joke. We'll compare them later. Oh, my white lady detectors are off the charts. I'm declassing.
Nothing like some warm nuts to really make the holiday time.
I love nuts!
I don't know if I can take it. I'm detecting a high-class white lady moment.
It's our first episode.
This is the pilot.
Right.
We're gonna goop that bar cart wicked hard.
I mean, we've been there. I'm excited.
Stop the presses. Just white lady moment inbound.
Don't get too drunk.
Okay.
We have to do what my mother calls, you have to eat a blotter, which means have something in your stomach before you have the alcohol.
Oh, that's good.
So what we're gonna make is marinated,
marinated
olives
olive.
and artichoke heart.
What do Gwyneth Paltrow and Kate Hudson look like fucking Old Navy models? I feel like Neil Patrick Harris is gonna come jumping out from behind a screen talking about how it's 25% off at Old Navy.
Oh, look at you go. Now add that in, and I'm gonna add your 2 nipple covers into the sauce.
Should I put a little more in there? Why not?
Yeah.
You know, Gwyneth Paltrow seems like the type of lady to put like organic cloth diapers on their child to cause zero waste. You know, just torture your child with something from the 12th century. Just because, you know, you don't want to make waste for anybody.
Okay, there we go.
Yum. Now, can we eat it?
If it were me, I would leave it for at least an hour.
Okay.
Or overnight, and then it'll be really perfect.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So it does. It sort of soaks it up.
Yeah.
This is a great video because you just get to watch Kate Hudson and Gwyneth Paltrow get white girl wasted. You know what? At least they're having a good time. By the way, if you look at the kitchenware section of Goop, you get to see how overpriced and expensive that kitchen they're standing in actually is. You think the kitchenware is overpriced though? Oh, hold on. Let me introduce you to the Goop step stool. How much do you think this step stool is worth? Come on, tell me. What do you think this step stool is worth? Did you guess that this step stool is $100? $100 to be a couple inches taller. Anyway, what are Gwyneth and Kate Hudson up to?
Why did you decide to start a vodka company?
Because
Other than
honestly,
the fact that you
like
were
to-
gonna
like a
send me
cocktail?
free vodka.
That's what I say to all my friends. I'm like, nobody has to pay for vodka ever again. There's not a lot of women in the spirit industry.
Right.
And vodka skews 56% female.
Oh, I see. They're trying to sell me a $30 bottle of vodka. Thank God. By the way, for you non-alcoholics out there, $30 for a bottle of vodka is a little bit on the pricey side. I'm gonna tell you right now, like, that's a little much for vodka. I don't care if it was made by a lady, it's a little pricey. Especially for a vodka with no brand recognition. Like, maybe if this vodka was a real entrepreneur and not successful actress Kate Hudson, yeah, maybe I'd be like, oh man, a woman in alcohol? That's weird. That doesn't happen a lot. That's great. I'm glad. You know, I'm glad we're smashing the glass ceiling. But no, it's Kate Hudson and not an actual entrepreneur that's struggling to get their business afloat. It's somebody with tons of capital where it's easy for them to get into the market. You know.
I love this combo.
Walnut, cashews, and almonds.
And pecans.
People who want to drink alcohol and be healthy at the same time, you realize you're drinking alcohol, right? People who want to be health conscious and also want to go out to drink are just the worst. They're counting every chicken wing like it's their last meal. Stop it. You're drinking a beer. You know it's bad for you. Anyway, while those ladies just have fun with their big Gap clothing energy, we're gonna go look at some of the products over on Goop's website. Okay, so right here I'm looking at Travel Meditation Kit. It's a yoga mat and inflatable pillow that you can take wherever you're going, you know, just pack it in your carry-on. You know, how much is a yoga mat when you think about it? You know, probably really expensive. This is a great alternative. Healthy, good for you. That'll be $120 for a yoga mat. How much is a yoga mat on Amazon? $15. You can just toss it in your luggage. What are you gonna do? You gonna meditate in the airport? Jesus, I don't want to spend time in there. I can't even, have you tried, like, meditating requires at least some form of quiet. You're not gonna meditate in the middle of a fucking United lobby. Oh, wait, but how about those crystal water bottles? You know, the one that was on Jimmy Kimmel, where Jimmy Kimmel just sucked up to Gwyneth Paltrow because, you know, he's such a great guy.
This is a water bottle.
Yep.
And what's the rock in there?
So this is an amethyst, and they say that amethyst, I think it's supposed to be a heart opening or something
Who
like
says this?
I don't know, but it's so pretty.
Oh, yeah, that water bottle, $84. 84! By the way, did you know that you can make your own amethyst water bottle, right? A real genuine amethyst water bottle for about, you know, $10, $15 on Amazon. You could just buy the amethyst for $10. $10, come on, is that easy? Here's one of my favorite products from the Goop line. It's called Chill Child Calming Mist. Cause why try and calm your child down when you can just spray him with fucking rose water? What are you was your kid a cat? Anyway, if you look at the ingredients that are in this, the fact that it comes out to almost $30 is absolutely absurd. You know how much the same thing is for animals, for pets, with the same ingredients, right? It's $10 on Amazon. You can either spray your child with something that is made of ingredients for animals, or you could spray them with the thing that's labeled for animals, but is just the same thing as the $30 thing. You know, take your pick if you just want to be a lazy parent instead of calm your child down. You just spray them with the rose water like I give a shit. Are we starting to notice an issue with the Goop products? Are we absorbing this? Are we taking this in, right? Because I'm looking at this and I'm going, man, these things are expensive. Good thing there are alternatives on Amazon or in a store that are not nearly as expensive as this. This stuff is so expensive and so removed from a normal person that I assume that Gwyneth Paltrow actually has no idea that, like, poor people exist. Like, how can you walk around selling this stuff, marketing it to women, and then saying it's gonna do things like empower them? She literally sells a deck to make you feel happy. A deck of optimism cards. Guys, if you're labeling your happiness with cards, if you're boiling it down to that, go to therapy. Like, oh, she's assuming that people like single mothers can afford all this crap? Well, what are you doing, Gwyneth? None of this is like related to any of these women's struggles whatsoever. They need to worry about paying the bills, not buying $120 worth of meditation gear. Oh, but you don't think she's out of touch from normal people? Well, I'm sorry, sister. Allow me to tell you how out of touch Gwyneth Paltrow is from the normal civilian, right? Allow me to boil this down to just the most bare-bones, painful thing you've ever heard. So, a 2015 article reported on Gwyneth Paltrow trying to live on food stamps for like, I think it was like a month. Anyway, she couldn't live on food stamps for 4 days. Part of this just tells me that Gwyneth Paltrow has not shopped for her own groceries in a very long time, but when you find out the things she was buying, it's no surprise. So, she said, and I quote, "As I suspected, we only made it through about 4 days. And when I personally broke and had some chicken and fresh vegetables, and in full transparency, half a bag of black licorice," she wrote on her blog, Goop, "my perspective has been forever altered by how difficult it was to eat wholesome, nutritious food on that budget, even for just a few days. A challenge that 47 million Americans face every day, week, and year." By the way, I should mention that the article talks about how food stamps are a supplementary program to help with the bills on top of the normal job you have. Food stamps are not supposed to provide for your entirety, it's supposed to lessen the burden. But the challenge she took was to live on just strictly the food stamps. We have that in perspective, right? Because there are fresh ingredients you can buy with food stamps. In fact, there's so many restrictions on food stamps, you can't just buy whatever garbage you want, right? But here's how I know she doesn't do her own grocery shopping most of the time. It's because of what she was buying, right? It's like she set herself up to not be able to afford anything, right? So here's what the Washington Post reported that she bought, and it's she was buying food for a detox. Okay, she bought a dozen eggs, some black beans and brown rice, an array of fruits and veggies, including a baffling number of limes. What is a baffling number of limes? When do you start buying enough like limes that it's a problem? It's like, lady, what are you doing? A dozen limes? Like, how many limes do you have to buy that it becomes weird? Like, what is... Gwyneth Paltrow bought enough limes for somebody who is a nutritionist to go, that's weird. Why is she buying so many limes? Part of what makes this beautiful is that the people that looked at what she bought came to the conclusion that she was buying food for a detox. By that, I mean she was using the excuse of pretending to be poor as an excuse to do a body detox. What a great woman. Poor people know how to say skinny, so good thing I'm on food stamps. In fact, she was deliberately buying stuff that was so lacking in nutrition, she was eating somewhere around 1,000 calories a day. Which, I don't need to tell you that, but that's not a lot of calories. In fact, most people will probably be lethargic and tired if they do that every day. But it's nice to know she was doing that while she was pretending to be poor. Hey guys, you want to see Goop employees react to their weird sex toys? Yeah, okay, sure, why not?
Can you fit your whole hand in
Can I
there?
wear it as a bracelet?
Oh.
Am I gonna damage it?
The employees are mocking the products that Goop sells on their website. Are you kidding me? Look at the cock ring. It's $140. Look, now just because I'm a master researcher, you know, I went and I looked and I compared prices with other similar products on the market. You could get a nice cock ring for about $52. In fact, you could get a cock ring for $7 if you're not afraid of losing your penis. But no. Why stop there with Goop? You know, Goop's got a lot more than that. Goop is a completely holistic entity. They got everything. They got news, they got products, they got content. You could just goop your life out, you know? They got plenty of stuff for the aspiring crystal sniffer. By crystal sniffer, I mean like they buy gemstones, not like they smoke crystal meth. But then I saw the Goop travel guide. And I was like, oh, a Goop travel guide for New York. Now, I'm in New York a lot. You know, I love New York. New York City's beautiful. I love it there. I spend a lot of the time in the city. You know, I shoot a lot of street photography. I go to a lot of different restaurants and places with my girlfriend. We explore. We get around the city. We see the cool places that people want to go to, you know, because we're almost like locals there. In fact, I particularly spend a lot of time in the west side of, you know, Greenwich Village, Soho, around there. I shoot pretty much all of my street photography around there. And there's a lot of good food over there. Like, damn, son. And so why does the guide for Goop New York, right, have only the most expensive restaurants listed on their travel guide? Like, who's using these travel guides? Because if you can afford this oyster bar, you can afford for someone to plan your trip for you. Guys, the oyster bar that they list as a restaurant to visit, right? And all the other restaurants are just the same as this. Some of them are actually more expensive. I'm just using this as an example. This restaurant averages about $30 a plate. Okay? Go take a family of 4 to that restaurant and see how fast you're gonna blow through your money. You can get better, cheaper food in Midtown for less than that. This is so expensive. Like, who's gonna travel to New York City and then go eat there? And then, you know, I spend a lot of time in that part of town. My girlfriend and I have been wondering, hey, maybe we'll go bar hopping one night. You know, maybe we'll go to a bar, you know, enjoy a drink or two. So I look at the Goop bars, right? And they only have high-class martini bars. Not everybody wants to drink a martini. Again, I want to say, who is this for? Because if you can afford $15, $16, $20 drinks, why are you not getting somebody to plan your trip for you? What? Get your butler to do it. Oh, but don't worry, the must-visit places that they list, one of the most visited places that they say you should go visit is the Goop store in NoHo, as featured in John Tron's video on Goop as well. To be honest, I'm honestly thinking of going, just so I can say that I went and, you know, got to finally sniff the vagina candle, which, by the way, there are videos of people testing if it smells like vagina or not. Haven't watched them. I just know they're out there. But guys, why stop there with Goop? You know, Goop has got a lot of products. They've got a lot of wellness products, right? And you know me, I know supplements. I know them real well. So let's look at the pseudoscience behind Goop and these weird products that they're selling for, like, a lot of money. For example, they have these products. They're called, like, Nerd Alert Wake Up Chews, right? And they're marketing these things as nootropics, right? Now, I gotta tell you right now that nootropics is kind of like a marketing term, and usually it's associated with like fungi, like cordyceps and reishi mushroom and stuff like that, right? They're basically, a nootropic is supposed to be a brain-enhancing thing. So what's in Nerd Alert? What's in this like wake-up chew starburst that you get from them? Well, here's the thing. Nerd Alerts aren't anything special. In fact, they're just caffeine. And that's not even an exaggeration. The serving size for one of these little squares, right, one of the servings, is 100 milligrams of caffeine. Which, for those of you unfamiliar with coffee or supplements or any of that stuff, oh, guess what? That is equivalent to 1 cup of coffee, right? Or maybe a strong cup of green tea. The only other ingredient in there, and I'm gonna butcher this, is called L-theanine, right? Which only has very supplementary studies. There's not enough to be specific on it, but L-theanine is featured in green tea, which, by the way, you can get green tea for a much cheaper price than you can for Nerd Alerts. So here's the thing, don't buy these things, buy green tea instead. You'd actually probably get more benefits from drinking green tea than you would from Nerd Alerts. So why are these like purported as being better? Because if it has caffeine and L-theanine and nothing else, you could just get a crash the same way you would from coffee. There's nothing special about these. Why are they this expensive? So they also sell a thing called an adaptogen, right? These are basically supplements that are meant to promote homeostasis. You guys know what homeostasis is. You all learned about it in like high school biology. But yeah, they sell products that are supposed to help homeostasis. Basically, adaptogens are just herbal remedies, okay? That's basically the gist of it. Your body does a pretty good job of staying in homeostasis anyway. If your body's not staying in homeostasis, it means you need to go to a doctor because you might be sick. So they sell a thing called cordyceps mushroom elixirs, which probably doesn't work. There's not enough evidence to support these things. That's the problem with a lot of these things that Goop is selling, is that there's not science to back it up. They say there is, but it's just them hypothesizing on it. That's it. Also, all these mushroom elixirs should really have a warning on them, considering women are the primary consumers of these products. And you're gonna ask, Diesel, why? Why is that an issue? Well, it's because this could actually directly impact people with either 1, autoimmune diseases, or 2, women who are pregnant or breastfeeding, right? Because you don't want to end up with a baby with brain damage. And since we don't have enough evidence to support whether these are safe or not for the consumption of a small child, right? Maybe if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, don't take them. But no, it's not like we're gonna put that on the Goop website, even though that should really be something that's front and center, because something like that, or caffeine, or any of these other supplements you're taking could actually impact the growth of the baby in the womb, or tons of other stuff. The thing with most of these Goop things, right, which, yes, the supplements are expensive, right, but they're just that, they're supplements. And here's what this means. It means they are supplemental to food. So just get groceries and eat healthy. And I'm sure you all know how to budget a cart better than Gwyneth Paltrow does. Oh, but of course Goop has a detox. Goop's got a detox. You need to shit your brains out? Don't worry, we got it. In G-Tox Detoxifying Super Powder. All in caps. Because of course it is. It's $60 a box. What the fuck are you doing? That's so much money! Guys, don't buy this. Don't buy it. I'm sorry, don't even buy it for the meme. This brand needs to like get off its fucking high horse. Guys, if they're selling a $100 water bottle, it better be a smart water bottle that reminds me to drink. Oh wait, they got a product for that too, because of course they do. Of course. Why not? Anyway, I think we'll end this video with some wise words from Gwyneth herself. I basically love anything that comes in a hot dog bun. Except hot dogs. So, thank you for watching this video. I hope you like the new little setup we got here. I kind of like it, personally. It's a bit of a mix-up, right? Big more stuff. If you like the work I do here, please consider supporting me on Patreon. That would help a lot, and it would make it so that way I can make more crazy, bigger stuff. I'd like to be able to, so please help me out. And by the way, if you're not a patron yet, if you support the $5 tier, you get access to patron-only videos, one of which should be going up soon. And just so you guys know, tomorrow, or I guess today, right now, go to my Twitch right now. I'm streaming right now as this video's up. We're doing a stream for the Australian wildfires. you know, just helping out those animals and people and the people that need help there. So head over. If you got some money, donate to that instead of my Patreon. Go do that instead. That's much more important. Almost forgot to put that in the video. Anyway, you can also follow me on social media at FPS Diesel. Taking a social media detox right now, so I'm not active, but just so you know, follow me on there so you can get updates and see things like my photography and other stuff that I do.
Give up on my way home.